Hello, I'm just Sir, and welcome back. With the penultimate end to the European domestic season on Saturday, and the deserved win of the UEFA Champions League by Chelsea, and congrats to them on that, we are blessed with some more excellent football in the European Championship, of which was supposed to be held last year, but obviously due to the pandemic was postponed to this year. And through the next 10 days or so to the lead up to the European Championships, I'll doing a breakdown of each group and my own predictions of the tournament, of which today I will start with Group A, which features Italy, Turkey, Switzerland, and Wales. Without further ado, let's get into my prediction. And we start off with Italy. And Italy comes in red hot to the Euros, having eased through qualifiers and won every single one of their games. And they are a force to be reckoned with. And particularly what they are aided by is the fact that they have a sense of home field advantage a majority of their games in Rome, which will mightily help their case. Not to mention, as we look at their squad right here, they're really solid in the back with their experienced defense, with the likes of Giorgio Chiellini and Leonardo Bonucci, and their presumed starting goalkeeper in Gianluigi Donnarumma, who will be motivated to play exceptional at the Euros as he's out of contract with AC Milan and just had a great year with AC Milan. And overall, Italy, having won all their qualifiers and having home field advantage and having an all around great team. While this is a very tough group, and they might experience a slight challenge in the first game against Turkey, I think they can still make it out of this group, and I predict they will finish first in Group A. Next, we have Turkey, and Turkey is an uncharacteristically interesting team in most international competitions, as they usually either don't qualify for the tournament to begin with, or they do very well at it, as case in point in the 2002 World Cup where they finished fourth, while not having qualified for the last World Cup. And with Turkey, it really comes down to, in my opinion, their striker at front, Burak Ilmaz, who had a resurrection at Lille this season and was a big part in them winning the league. And even still, at 36 years old, he's still going, and they will count on him for much needed goals. Not to mention their free kick maestro, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, will also be counted on to carry the load. And Turkey is really a incredibly underrated team going into this tournament, having finished second in their qualifying group to France, but having beaten France in one of their games. They've proven that they have a very competent squad at their hand, and could potentially be a team to pull off the entire championship and win it, like with Greece and Portugal in their preceding years, and they have the best chance to do that in my opinion. And while they might face some difficulty beating Italy, I think they'll have no issues in manhandling Switzerland and Wales, and for that, I think they will finish second in their group, not too far from Italy. Next, we have Switzerland, and Switzerland is very even with Turkey in terms of getting second in this group, and it'll be very interesting to see. But I think what holds them back a little bit is their uncertainty at striker, as whether it be Briel Embolo or Haris Seferovic of Benfica or or even Xherdan Shaqiri if he's fit. I'm a little uncertain as to how they will be able to score goals. I trust that I trust that they will be able to defend with the likes of Nico Elvedi and Manuel Akanji from the Bundesliga, and one of the best goalkeepers in the entire tournament in Jan Sommer at their in their hands. Not to mention their midfield is above average as well. And having won their own European qualifying group, they're in a good position to be successful. Not to mention having also reached the finals of the UEFA Nations League also showed that they are one to be reckoned with. And they have some very good young players as well. And if my PES 2020 simulation of the European Championships was anything to predict last year, Switzerland ended up winning the entire competition. So that could be something. Now, unfortunately, I think that their group is very difficult to begin with. And while these predictions might not age well, I think that they will finish third in their group, but will make it as one of the better third place teams. Because I think there's just too much skill for them not to make it to the knockout stage. And their manager, Vladimir Pekovic, is one of the better managers in the tournament. And last but not least, we have Wales. And Wales is a very interesting case in this tournament. Having reached the semifinals 5 years ago on the legs of Gareth Bale and Aaron Ramsey, to name a few, they're a significantly different squad to that team. And they go into this tournament under scandalous circumstances, as their manager Ryan Giggs had to take a leave of absence as he's awaiting trial for well, you have to read it yourself. It's really gratuitous, but they go into this with the interim manager and Rob Page, who I'm not really familiar with and doesn't have a lot of experience on the international stage. But furthermore, Wales just doesn't have the squad to really compete with the likes of Italy, Turkey, or Switzerland. As their defense in particular, while I like the likes of Ben Davies and Joe Rodon from Tottenham, which I never thought I would be saying that, and even Gareth Bale, they were not really on great form this season, and I think that will show. As good as they are, they're just haven't had the consistent play time, and even for a player quality like Bale, who did show in a couple games that he still has the talent compared to where he was 5 years ago in the prime of his career. He's nowhere near that anymore. And with serious talks of him potentially retiring after this tournament, it'll be interesting to see how they can compete. Furthermore, they didn't do terrific during the qualifiers, having barely qualified for the tournament and only squeaking past in the last game of the qualifying. And it will be it's a serious challenge if they want to get through to the knockout stage. And unfortunately, unlike in 2016, I do not see that happening. And and I think they will crash out in the knockout stage and finish fourth. So my final standings are as followed: Italy first, Turkey second, Switzerland third, with the added with them all qualifying to the knockout stage, and Wales finishing fourth. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Leave a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more of my predictions. And I vehemently look forward to when the Euros start.